All right, what's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Armon, and we're back with another video. Get in here, take a seat, and let's get into some things. All right, so I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, first of all, let's address a few elephants in the room, all right? I got the LA hat on with the New York shirt. Listen, I get it. The colors matched. I like it. And if you know me, then you know LA and New York is my two favorite cities in the whole United States. And so if I'm not in LA, I'm in New York. So shout out to both. I have to represent. And then the second order of business, the big one, how they got me. After I talked all that about the nails, how dare I go get white nails? I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I really like them. I did it because I saw Chris Brown with the white nails, and I was like, all right, let me try it. Let me just see if I like it. I mean, they're not bad. Like, I could rock anything. But I just feel like they don't be looking as clean up close because the white. So I think I like my clear. And I feel like white just gets dirty. Like, I don't know. And I just feel like the minute I like nudge it or touch it, like I feel like it's going to get like messy. So I don't know, but I tried them out. Yes, I have the nails. You know what I mean? I was going to wait and see how long you guys were going to take to clock me on it, but I tried it. You know, my man, he didn't really mind it. They don't look that bad, but hey, I could say I tried it. I'll probably go back to my clear and my clear pink next time, but I just want to try something different this time, and I knew you guys would get a good whack out of that. So go ahead, whack me down. It's all good. But speaking of that, I didn't know what I wanted to talk about today. I'm be honest with you. I was just like, I don't know what I wanted to talk about. You know, I didn't know if, I didn't want to do any female rap stuff, because I still want to keep this podcast format. And I was like, well, I could do some manifestation stuff, but, it's my energies have been just kind of crazy just with the last few weeks, right? And so I had to realize, well, wait a minute, Armon, you are the content. And when you talk about you being the content, like, don't be afraid to go through the journey with your audience. You get what I'm saying? So I think that is what we're going to do, and we will just evolve on this channel as such. And so I think going through the process of evolution is important to be transparent about, because a lot of you guys have been watching me for years. A lot of you guys have been following me for years. And I just think that sometimes trying to go through self-transformation and self-development through yourself, but then on your own, and then still battling the things on social media, and then people say, well, you're trying to preach this, and then you do that. It's like, all right, so let's bring it all full circle. So I won't try to tell you guys necessarily what to do, and I'm not following the rules. So we're going to be open and honest about every little thing that we have going on here. And so I think that my first order of business is in really getting into a space for change is acknowledging that, I have a problem, and I think that, one of the biggest problems that I need to work on is the ego, and I was watching this video by Leo Skeppy, shout out to him. It was talking about the things that kind of changed his life and made his life better. Like, he talked about how he stopped criticizing people. I would love to stop criticizing people, you know what I mean? But sometimes when that's just embedded in you, and you've been in that space, and you've made money from it, is a hard thing to do. But even when you go to when you're going to look for a house or you're looking for a car, you just always find something to criticize. I'm actively going to work on that, because I don't like that feeling to feel like I'm always having something to say. Now, I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I've stopped, because these are things that I'm working on. Okay. But he also talked about, responding and attacking people, or going at people, or addressing people. And I'm not gonna lie, I was laying there listening to it, and I was kind of falling into a nap. But then that kind of woke me up, and that inspired me, because he kind of was saying, like, if someone is not posing an intimate threat, or someone is not posing a direct physical threat onto you, then you do not need to respond. You do not need to react. When you react, it is a reaction of your ego. You are trying to defend yourself based on, whatever was said, because you're trying to, it's like reacting in that way is more of like a protection mechanism. And you have to ask yourself, what are you protecting yourself from? You know what I mean? If someone is not out there trying to attack you, is it that serious to address it head on? And if you're coming from a place where you're addressing it head on, and you're coming from a place to invalidate someone or make someone feel bad or hurt them, then it's just a battle of egos. And 9 times out of 10, nothing good ends up coming out of that, because life is law of attraction. So if I go back and attack you, whether you attack me first or not, I'm putting that energy back out there. So I'm going to be completely back in that circle, and then you don't feel good after. So I will say that, and I think that online, that's been a lot of things that I've done. I've been like, some of my best videos are like when I'm responding to other people out of an emotional state or out of a place where I feel like I have to defend myself, or I'm defending the ego. But then when I'm done, I'm like, maybe I could have paid it, but I chose not to. But what good came out of it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what good actually came out of it? And there's different things, even with the female rap commentary. If I'm critiquing these girls and they get mad and I'm dragging, then we go back and forth online. What good came out of it? A bunch of people then come around, they hate me, they're this and that. What good comes out of it? If I'm burning people's books, what good actually? I mean, I felt fantastic doing it. You know what I mean? I still don't like the person just because I know the character, but did I have to really burn the book? Probably not. Did I have to do the roast? Now that I think about it, probably not. But I felt like I needed to defend myself based upon the words and, the ego. And looking back at certain things, maybe I didn't have to do that. When I get online and I'm in a good space and I'm trying to be, in a positive space, I'm letting YouTubers, I'm letting comments trigger me to get back into a place where I was not even trying to be in, because I'm listening to the words that they're saying and I'm trying to defend myself, and I'm having these emotional response or these urges to say fuck you or bitch, Even the last video I did with Tasha K, it literally took me like almost 2 or 3 weeks. I had posted I was going to drag her. And I said, no, I'm not. Then I posted it again, and I didn't do it because I was like, I don't care. Then the opportunity came back up again. I was like, you know what? I'm going to light this hoe up. But for what? For what? Like, I feel like it took me off of my square, even yet again. Addressing any of the foolishness of these other people. So I want to honestly say that I'm trying to work in a place, and I'm not perfect, but I'm going to speak it as if it's so, because this is what I would advise you to do. And I have to believe it. I'm not doing that no more. And when you say it loud like that, it's almost like, ooh, you said it. They're going to hold you to it. But I can't be in that space because I'm trying to evolve and I'm trying to grow. And it's not because it's not because, oh, you lost this opportunity or oh, this is happening, or you need money. It's not about that. It's about evolving as a person and not allowing myself and having self-control and not allowing me to be moved off of my square based upon things that are said by other people. Because at some point, then I have to look back inside of me and say, hey, why was I so easily triggered by what they said? Why did I let that move me? Why did I allow myself to get out of my body and react in that way? I can't blame you or said persons for saying whatever they want to say in my reaction, because I still reacted from it. And so it's very, very hard. I've been working on it because I just see so much more for me to do. And I think my whole journey on YouTube has been a learning lesson. And I think the biggest lesson is, honestly, controlling those emotions. And I'm gonna be honest, when people used to say I was emotional, that used to really, really trigger me. Because it was like, why can everybody else be emotional? Why can't I? And I was like, well, you know what? They're right. I am emotional. And I will react off of emotions, and I have to learn to control them. It's not a good thing to hear that and then be like, damn, that's probably true. You know, because for a while, like, you know, when you hear things, there's certain things that you can hear about yourself online or whatever, and you be like, well, that's just not true. So that doesn't really bother me. But it's those things that you be like, that kind of sting you, like, maybe that is true. And I think the biggest thing that I've ever heard was like that emotion. I didn't like that. But I don't think I liked that because that was true. And I had to sit and acknowledge that. And that is why, you know, to this day, I always told myself, like, I did not want to be in a space of crashing out and going off anymore. Now, you know, the roast did happen because I felt like somebody had me fucked up, lying on me and all kind of stuff. And they got what they got. Now, would I have done that now, knowing what I know? And it's not about the job. It's not about the job being here and there, because personally, you know, I don't really think the show wasn't going to last past this season. So I was only going to do one season. But it was just more like, for me, I failed another. I feel like I failed a personal test because I'm like, I allowed myself to get triggered and then and followed by an urge to react based upon how I was feeling. I was not being physically threatened, but it was a battle of ego and trying to prove myself right. And then what I've also learned on the internet, there is no proven right. Once you amass a certain amount of success, or once people decide that they have made up in their mind who you are, there's no way that you're going to be able to change that. You can articulate it the best way you can. You can build a diagram. You can do a story from A to Z, break it down slow, say it in English, French, and Spanish. Somebody's going to take what you said, chop it. Someone's going to do this and make their own. Someone's going to take this video and make their own narrative. And that test for me is to say, you know what? You got that. You got that. I can't acknowledge it. I can't consume it. I can't respond to it because I will get urges to reply or to emotionally react. And at the end of the day, once I've done it, I'm over it. Because then I start to feel like, well, you know what? You allow this person or these comments to take you out of a place where you are not trying to be anymore, you know? And I just feel like for me, I'm trying to move out a different direction. So as long as ain't nobody trying to walk up on me, throw drinks at me, follow me around my city, or trying to harass me, have at it. Have at it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm at the point, I don't care what you say, what you feel, as long as you are not physically trying to harm me, then at this moment, I think I have to just let it go, because I'll get into this space and then I'll feel like I don't feel good. And then what ends up happening is I keep attracting more of that negative energy toward me. And so I'm throwing in the white flag. Anybody that decides that they still want to carry it on, y'all have it, y'all got it, y'all win. Anybody that feel like they felt away from female rappers to peers to YouTubers, anything, I'm just at a point right now, and it just kind of jumped to me like, I don't desire to be with you. I don't desire to be for none of you. and then so a lot of you, a lot of people, I really don't know. So I really just don't. I just don't desire to carry the beef with people that I've never met personally. I've never had a relationship with. I don't know you. And so for me, I can't even keep up that type of energy and try to be moving into a different direction. And I'm still cursing motherfuckers out, clicking out, beefing with people. Now, I can't change the perception that people have of me. You know, if you decide that you just don't like me, or I'm going to be content, or people are going to say negative things, that is what people do. But I have to take responsibility for the way I respond. And if whenever I respond to somebody, it's never out of a place of level-headedness and, okay, it's always out of a place like, okay, I'm going to get you because you got me. But whenever I respond out of that place, it never ends with me feeling vindicated in that moment, even or after. But even in that moment, though, when I'm doing it, I feel good because I'm like, thought you knew. Stop playing with me. But then it's like, well, for what? 9 times out of 10, you know, you've given people attention that wasn't worthy of your attention. You've stepped off of your square. You got people looking at you a certain kind of way. And it's just like, I just personally don't want it, and I just don't need it. But I think what's important is acknowledging the part that I play in it. Even if I feel like I'm responding, there's still something, I still have a role in it because I still contributed to the negative vibration of the energy. And I'm here today to say, listen, I'm not trying to dwell in that place no more. So I'm at a point where, yes, words can hurt, words can trigger, and I'm probably going to think the most egregious things about a person. I'm probably going to still have those urges to want to go clean, slap the off. And that's okay. I'm just going to make a conscious effort not to react on those urges based upon someone sending me a nasty tweet, or someone making a nasty YouTube video about me, or somebody saying something nasty about me online. Like, that's just kind of what it is. And, you know, for me, I'm throwing in the white flag with that. So if anybody, you know, and I feel like this is the best way to start it. If anybody felt a way, y'all don't like, if it was a personal thing, I apologize to you, whoever that is out there that may feel away, from rapper to YouTuber to friend or foe. I'm just at the point where it's time for me to grow and level up, and I just don't want to deal with it. And I think that's the most, and I think in order for me to get to the next level, I have to acknowledge what I've done, and I have to genuinely mean it. And I think that it's also important why I'm trying to evolve into another person to talk about these things on the podcast, because these are the things that people are able to see, and they're able to see you grow. And this is what builds credibility for when you're going to the next level. And I just personally feel as though I'm on that journey, and, you know, sometimes it's a lot harder for me to, you know, say no to the mess, or say no to the BS, or say no to the response, because that's my wheelhouse. I know how to perform in that bag. I'm a performer, and I can get real messy, and I can get real showy, and I can, you know, I can do that. I can duke it out. Like, but I feel like I've proven that so many times. I don't have to keep proving I'm the best in the ring when it comes to the receipts and clearing a bitch. I don't have to do that anymore. Like, yes, I can let other people go through that and they figure that out. But listen, I'm not on that no more. If it gets to a point where it needs to get really, really serious, then, you know, if I at a point, if I think about it and I'm just being harassed, and we'll take legal if it needs to go that far. But at this point, rumors, he say, she said, people talking, dragging me, comments, trolling me, like whatever. You know, at some point, in order for me to step into the next space of where I'm trying to go, I have to understand that I cannot react to every single thing. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I can feel how I want to feel, but you can't give it your reaction. I have to stop doing that. I have to stop doing that. Because whenever I make a little progress, I get tested, and that brings me back every single time. And so I'm like, okay, you keep failing this same test. You want to go here, and as soon as you get there, we're going to put somebody in your way to try you, to see if you are going to react. And that ego of yours says, get them. And you do it. And then you be brought right back down. Yep. Guess you failed it. I'm like, damn, I keep failing that test. I keep failing that test. I just had this realization today. I'm like, damn, I really keep failing that test. I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. I feel like I have been constantly tested with this one thing. Am I ready to go to the next level? No, because you keep reacting off of your emotions and your ego. You have all the makeup, but your emotions and your ego won't allow you to think before you react. You think after you react, but then after that point, it's too late. And so I'm saying today, like, I'm not going to fail. I'm not going to fail the next test. I just can't. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And a part of not failing it is just relinquishing. I'm not fighting no more. Whatever, at this point, it's not even a manipulation tactic. Whatever people want to believe about me is true. I don't care. Whatever you say, okay, that's fine. Whether it's true or not. But as long as you don't walk up on me, as long as you're not following me, as long as you're not trying to throw drinks on me, as long as you're not around me, messing with me, I don't care. Now, don't walk up on me trying to get no moment off me because you'll gag. But all the other stuff, say what you want to say. Lies, whatever. I mean, and that be the hardest part too. I'm not going to lie. Like, I've literally watched people make up lies. And I think that'd be the most triggering part, because then it'd be people that kind of had a split moment with you or see you here. Then it's like they make up these stories. And because they know you're trying not to respond or engage in it, they start adding to the stories. And it's like, then they have people start believing these stories. I'm not going to get into the stories because then that's me responding. But I'm just trying to focus on me. I'm trying to build. I'm trying to grow. I understand there's some people that just like, that's not with it. But this is a battle, and this is a challenge that I'm going to go through. And we're going to talk about it every day. And we're going to talk about different things on this pod. And we're growing. We're growing, guys. And at the end of the day, we cannot allow others and obstacles and other people's traumas and demons and battles that try to come in and interject and and trigger us, and then we start engaging in with them, because then they start winning. And so at the end of the day, like I said, I'm throwing in the towel on everybody. Y'all can have it. I'm throwing in the towel. Y'all win. And And that's just what it is. And I feel good about it because it's like now I can move forward doing my own thing and understanding that I've relinquished that energy. Whatever you say about me is true. Whatever you say I did, whatever you say, whatever people think about me, but at some point I have to break out of this. And I think every little chance, every time something happens and I try to do new things and I try to move and I try to navigate further, I get tested to see, oh, no, you can't leave. You can't leave. No, I'm getting out. And I'm not going to be in this revolving battle circle. I'm not doing it. And so, but it starts with me. I can't blame anybody else because no one else is in charge or responsible for my actions but Armon. And I think the first step to self-help and self-development and in coaching and guiding and being an inspiration for others is allowing people to see you work through your inner traumas, problems, and be vulnerable about it. And I think this is a great approach by doing it because I'm not human. And how can I sit up here and give you guys advice and do this stuff? And then the minute I feel slighted, the minute I feel tried, I done put the Zen to the side and I done cussed the bitch out. As much as y'all want that, as much people love it, but I can't do that no more. I cannot do it because it does nothing for me. It's like eating a bunch of McDonald's. It doesn't nourish my spirit at all. It gives me a quick fix, but I don't have to keep letting people know that they can't play with me. People, you know what I mean? Like what am I getting out of that? So at the end of the day, I just have to come to the realization that, I have to control my ego because that's all it is. And when you don't control the ego and you start going back and forth with another person, it becomes an ego match. And then you ready to smack a bitch because too much talking with the egos, then we gonna crash. And it's like, what am I fighting you for? What am I doing? And so we're moving up. And I just think that that's important. And I notice, and one thing that was always interesting in any scenario, this is how I knew it was always a test, especially on the bigger scales. I would get tested. These situations, these people, they will be so, when I'm like trying to like woosah, they would test me. The minute I react, poof, they go away. Then it looks like, well, they don't, all that testing that they did, then they become the victim. They go silent. They disappear. But for that whole time where I was silent and I was quiet, they were knocking at my door. As soon as I opened it, there was nobody there. And then I'm standing there looking crazy like I'm opening an empty door, yelling at the street. When I know I looked through that peephole and saw it was you. But that's why I feel like it was a test. You just wanted me to open that door to make sure I was still there in your energy. And I can't do that no more. I don't hear that. I'm going to look through the peephole, see who it is. Nah, I can't take that phone call. I can't take that door because it's a test and it's a game. And I'm sure I'll be tested again. And the more that you try to, they try to up the ante. But I've known enough through a lot of trial and error that every time I open the door, they disappear. Because it really wasn't about the battle. It was just to make sure that I would still open the door because that means that they still have control. And I can't give that anymore. I just can't. So pray with me, y'all. Bear with me. We keeping it strong. And listen, when those challenges come, I need y'all as my supporters because we going to the next level. We're trying to grow. We're trying to think big. We're trying to think higher. We're trying to manifest. We got music coming out. We're trying to navigate other spaces. And so if y'all really with me and y'all really supporting, don't even send me the stuff. If y'all really don't egg it on in my comments. Let's grow. And if y'all not on that, and I get the kind of base that we built, but listen, respectfully, I would just like you to not just unsubscribe. It's okay. If you want to keep in that energy, I think at this point, it would be fair to say that I think that we're outgrowing each other, and I just don't think that this is the space for you. Because I'm not gonna make the content that you like. Or I just can't be the crash dummy anymore for a quick set of views or because I never get anything out of that. I mean, you're entertained, maybe a good AdSense check, but at the end of the day, it just keeps me in this circle of having to be a crash dummy, and I just don't want to do it anymore. I've done it for many years, but we're evolving. And I need my people to evolve with me. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for listening. And let me know are you guys on any self-help journeys? What kind of journey are you guys on right now? What are y'all feeling like? What is y'all vibe? And are you liking these videos? And are y'all willing to go on this journey with me? Because every day I think I might be talking about new things that I'm trying to deal with until I get to a point where I'm working them out. All right. Until next time, keep that same energy, and I'll see you soon. Peace out.